Welcome to All Things Possible TV. We're coming from a little different spot right now. We are celebrating our 30th anniversary.
Yay.
We've been married for 30 years, which is really fun. I'm Kris, this is Bill, in case you haven't watched before. But we are excited to talk to you today about that love affair. Are you still having a love affair? We have had 30 fabulous years, and we are right now on Cozumel, at Cozumel. We are taking a cruise for our 30th anniversary.
We're on Passion Island.
Yes, we are on Passion Island, and it's beautiful, white beach, beautiful ocean, and palm trees, and just fabulous. We took a private charter over here, and
It was a canoe.
it was like a canoe. It wasn't as beautiful as what the brochure said, but we're having a fabulous time. We've been all week having a great time, and this episode is just reminding you about rekindling that relationship, making sure it's a love affair at all times, that you are doing that date night, you are doing those things to keep your relationship strong and interesting, and having that passion that you want, that your significant other wants.
Well, you know, the other thing too about a love affair, in society, when we hear love affair, we're thinking an illicit affair and someone's cheating and it's a bad thing. And yes, there's all that excitement in the love affair, you know, because it's all brand new. But what we want to talk to you about is keeping your relationship brand new, so that it's an ongoing love affair. It's a love affair of honor, and that you keep that spark in it, because the chemistry wears off after a year, after 2 years. You get used to each other, and if you don't work at it, love will die. And we see that in so many couples and so many people. It's like, what do you do to keep together for 30 years? No, we haven't set any records, but we've had a good relationship, and we've had hard times, we've had struggles. It isn't something that you get without working at it, but it's well worth the effort to keep an ongoing love affair, to keep that magic alive, and you have to work at it. And this obviously is a big deal for us. We're celebrating 30 years, and so we're taking a big step. But what do you do to keep your love affair alive, so that love doesn't die and pretty soon you're just roommates or business partners? And that's what we want to talk to you about.
Right, and just to have some fun. Keep it unique, keep it fun. Obviously, I've got braided hair, and
I've got my do-rag on.
We're having some fun, and this is going to be a different episode than you're used to seeing from us. But it's very important. I mean, we've got massages, we've got hammocks, we've got lounges to lay out, and just to enjoy ourselves and to take that pamper time. We've talked a lot about pampering time. If you don't pamper your relationship with your significant other, then there won't be a significant other. You'll start to see the negatives. You'll start to have more and more that's going wrong instead of what's going right. And you'll enjoy each other less and less if you aren't doing those fun things, taking time out from everything. This week was about turning off the computer and turning off the cell phone, and that can be hard. And even, you know, when we left, we're like, okay guys, we have no cell phone for a week. And that was interesting to be like, okay, just shut it down. It's going to be okay. And we've done cruises before, but this one was just like, you know what? It's time to take some time out for us, time out to kindle that relationship and to nurture our relationship to where we continue to have it be interesting and fun, and it fulfill our needs.
Absolutely, and it's a living thing. So many times we get married and we get involved in our work and our careers and the children, and we forget to nurture our relationship. And our relationship is like any delicate plant or an animal. It needs to be fed, it needs to be nurtured to keep it alive, and so it will thrive. And I think that's what we forget. And another thing is I would say, if I could give one tip to keep your relationship, to keep that alive and to make it grow, always put the other person first. And if you both do that, it will grow. I can really say that everybody that I've talked to that's in a relationship that's coming apart, they were not putting the other person first. They were not putting the other person's needs first. And that's when it starts to die.
Well, and I've taught a couple of different episodes about how it's really not about you. When you start focusing on yourself, that's when all of the negative starts to happen. We need to focus outside of ourselves. And to do that in a relationship, it does need to be put the other person's needs first, and their wants and their needs. When you fulfill your significant other with the kind of love that they understand that they want to receive, we've done some things with the 5 love languages. And so when I know what his needs are and I can fulfill his love language in those areas and he fulfills mine in those areas, then we have a great relationship. And the more that he gives me the love I need, the more I give back. The more I give him the love he needs, the more he gives back. And so even when we say it's not about you, it's about what you do. It's about how you look for ways to help your spouse, to help your significant other, to love them in the way that they feel loved. Not the way you feel loved, but the way they feel loved, which is very important because it's not always the same.
Actually, it's very seldom the same because opposites tend to attract. And what happens, part of the reason we have that magic when we first get married, and it's so exciting, we're thinking about that person all the time, we can't wait to be with them, is because we take them places, we buy them things, we spend time with them, we buy them gifts, we do things for them, we do little acts of service, and it's new, and we speak to them in all of the languages of love, and so they're getting the love. But after the new wears off, we all do this unconsciously or subconsciously. We step back into loving them in our language, and that's very, very seldom, as Kris says, in the language that they receive love. So we scale back on all the other areas, and almost invariably one of those areas was the areas where they feel it the most. And we scale back and we say, well, I know what I feel good, what makes me feel good, what my love language is, and so I'm going to love her that way. And she doesn't feel it if I love her in my love language. My love language, personally, is words of approval. I love it when I'm complimented, when I'm told I'm doing good.
He likes to be told he's awesome, and he is.
Right.
And it's great.
And her love language is spending quality time together. So we're at the beach today, and I would just, for me, if I was going to speak to her in my love language, I would say, honey, I love you. You look amazing today. You're the prettiest woman here. And I would open my book and go to sleep. But that doesn't speak to her because she wants quality time together. So we get to hold hands. We get to go for a walk on the beach. We get to have long talks. And I do that because I love
You like
her.
to do that.
Oh, of course I do, because it's your language and I love to.
Yeah, he didn't even bring a book to this beach.
Yeah, I
His
did not.
love language is to be told things, and to be in telling him that he is good, he is passionate. But for him, a hammock in the shade with a book would be great on the beach. For me, it's like in the sun, give me the rays and the beautiful water. And so we compromise. We're sitting by a table with chairs in the shade and lounges in the sun, and that works for both of us. You can find ways to complement your relationship so that both of you are happy. It doesn't have to be one or the other and you always lose. That's not what this is about. It's about making that compromise and learning what works best for each other and how you can best handle that together. We've done all kinds of fun things today, and you'll see a few more. You'll see us being silly. In Jamaica, of course, I got braids, and you'll see a little bit of that. You'll see a funny video of us with birds. It's the silly times. We went to Enchanted Gardens, and saw 14 fabulous waterfalls and this aviary with birds. It was phenomenal.
Cycle parrots.
There's a lot of birds. But you'll see some really fun things. You'll see some fun things on the ship where, yeah, we did have formal nights. Yes, we did have just casual time. He prefers the buffet. Let's go get what we want sometimes. And other times we're at sit-down dinners. You get to do...
Where you look into each other's eyes passionately.
Yes, very passionately. You could tell by the look on his face how passionate it was.
It was.
But no, we have to work at making sure that both people feel fulfilled. And that is the key. When you feel fulfilled and your significant other feels fulfilled, then your relationship thrives. And we are about creating a thriving life and a thriving relationship. When we work with couples, a lot of times it's about you ask them, well, what's his love language, or what do you do to make him feel special? And most of the time they don't know, or they tell you what they would want. And that's been a key piece for us, is to be able to significantly make a difference for each other and always be willing to do that first.
And and one trap that you can get into in speaking each other's love language is you start into, hey, we're in Mexico. Have you ever bought anything in Mexico? It's about bartering. You start out, how much you want? $100, good price you take. And pretty soon you're down to $20 and you barter. And you give me this, I'll give you that. And in a relationship, it's not about that. It's about unconditional love. But many times it's like, okay, if I spend 20 minutes doing it your way, now we have to spend 20 minutes doing it that way. But you know what? When we love each other, it turns out automatically. But when we start the bartering, it becomes a conditional love, a love with limits. And if you can keep it into the unconditional love where I love you, your needs are more important than mine. And if both people do that, you have a beautiful thing that grows and it's nurtured.
Well, and even at the different stages of life, we've gotten to the stage of empty nester, which for a long time we didn't think we'd ever reach. And now we've reached it. Life completely changed. We got to take off and go play and do more things. And the whole time we were with our children, we went camping a lot, we went boating a lot, we did a lot of things with our kids. We even took our kids on a cruise together. But now our situation is there's just the two of us. And we all of a sudden got to come into a new time in our life where we got to change some things and open up some new doors to be like, okay, so now how's the relationship? Now what are we going to do? There was some business changes, there was some life changes that we got to change a few things to make things work better for us and our relationship. And you liked the empty nester part.
I like the buffet we just had. I'm just sitting here in my butt.
Apparently we're going to make a cut right there. But there are things in your relationship when you do have to step it up. There are different times in life when the children are little. That's a different time than when you have teenagers. When you have teenagers, life changes again. And when you have the children leaving the home, there's a new change because you're now back to just the two of you again, if you have children involved in your family situation. For some of you, you'll just have a significant other and there's no kids involved. And you need to be able to adapt to whatever relationship you have at that time.
Sun's out, glasses down. Okay.
Hi. We are so excited that you're with us still. And you saw us on the white beach and having a great time. And we're just thrilled to be able to share with you some of the fun things that we've been able to do on this cruise and to rekindle our 30 years and to show you how easy it can be to just have fun, have those moments together, be authentic, and have your love affair. Doesn't have to go away. If you aren't having a love affair, you can do things to change that.
The biggest thing I think you can do to do that is go, what I like to talk about is forgiveness. Forgive your spouse. Tell them when they're not there and tell them when they are there. If there's an ongoing and old hurt or injury, tell them that you love them. Tell them that you forgive them. But mostly speak the words to when you're by yourself, because it's what's living inside of you. It isn't necessarily what they've done. It's the toxins and the garbage that you're holding on to that can create. And what happens is when we hold on to all this anger and the hurt and upset, whatever it is that we're holding on to, energetically we're sending out darts and arrows, little energy arrows, and they feel it, and so they don't want to draw close to us. And so when we remove that from inside ourselves, they no longer feel it, and then they are drawn close. So, boy, that's the one thing, is let go of the past.
Well, and the other thing is be willing to do the work on yourself. Don't think you're going to fix them. If you will fix the things in you, and if you will become that person. One of the exercises that we teach is that if you will write a list of the things that you want in a spouse or you want in a significant other, and then a list of what you must become to attract that person or to be with that person. If you make that list, it's amazing how many times when you align yourself that they automatically align anyway. And most things come together when you're willing to do the work on yourself. So remember, it's about fixing yourself and looking outside of yourself to fill their needs, looking for what their need is to be able to create that happiness and that joy, that bliss, and to continue that love affair. Also, we want to just share with you some of the fun things that we've been able to enjoy. It's just going to be a little snippet of a few things, kind of a funny little bird video, and some things to just remind you that it's get back to basics. Have fun together, spend time together, make that person your priority.
You know, and it doesn't have to be, it's wonderful to have it be extravagant, but what can you find once a week to spend some time together, to spend quality time where it's just you, where my focus is on my lover, where she is my focus. The kids aren't here, and it's good for your kids. They are not taking any hurt when you say, no, this is my time to spend with mom. This is her time. Okay.
Well, and the kids learn to do that as well. They are raised knowing that that's what they need to do, is to make it a focus for their relationships.
And you will teach them, by your example, to have a successful and a happy and a thriving marriage.
So keep doing the things that bring you happiness and joy, and add in the things where you feel like you're out of alignment, and to continue to have that great relationship, that fun, and that freedom to know that you are loved, your spouse, your significant other is loved, and that you have a great relationship. Your love affair is continuing.
Okay.
Thanks for being with us today. Thanks for being on our cruise with our crazy braids and our fun. We are thrilled that you're with us here on All Things Possible TV, and we hope that you're able to take a few things from this video and implement them into your life so that your love affair continues and is awesome for you. We also have some free things on our website. We would love for you to go to our website. It's www.allthingspossible.biz. Again, that's www.allthingspossible.biz. You'll see that on the bottom of the screen. We have 7 traits, and you can get those for free. If you'll implement those traits, your life will be better. Your life with your spouse, your life with your significant other, your life in your relationships will be better if you will implement those 7 traits. It's great to have you with us. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time on All Things Possible TV. Thank you.
Bye, y'all.